Hey, everybody, Jim Cummings here, and if Tigger were here, he'd say, thanks, everybody, for bouncing on in here and enjoying the show. But before we go, I want you to do me a small favor. Hit like, subscribe, and give us a thumbs up if you're enjoying the show. Now, speaking of enjoying the show, enjoy the show.
How's everybody doing today? Welcome to another live recording of Toon'd In with Jim Cummings. We have a very special guest for you today. Are you guys excited? Love to hear it, love to hear it. Well, first, let me introduce our guest. You know him well, very talented actor, numerous credits, Lord of the Rings, Indiana Jones, among many, many more, none other than John Rhys-Davies.
Well, it's damnably kind of you to get up this early in the morning and come out on a... We've only been traveling for 2.5 days on a golf cart to get here. I don't know what happened to your travels, but mine were hell. But so splendid. Is anyone going to come and sit here?
They sure are.
Come on, who?
Let me introduce you to our legendary host, Winnie the Pooh and Tigger 2, Mr. Jim Cummings.
Bless you, sir. Is this me?
That's you.
All righty.
Now,
All right.
I'm eternally grateful to Winnie the Pooh because I'm a member of the Garrick Club. And Milne, who wrote Winnie the Pooh, was a member of the Garrick Club many years ago, and he left the rights to Winnie the Pooh to the Garrick Club. And they sold it to Disney, I think about 1980-odd, for about $20 million. And the club has put it to good use.
Wow. I only got half that. That's terrible. Is this on? Yeah. Oh, okay, because we don't have monitors, I can't tell. And yeah, turn it up. There you go. Yeah, turn it up, what he said. First of all, thank you so very, very much for being here.
Well, thank you for having me.
Fantastic.
And I'm glad they didn't record our conversation in the corridor, don't you?
Oh, yeah.
Very good.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Never mind.
Yeah, well, where were we? Gosh, look at the time.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of people in this room probably know each of your credits individually. Maybe you're thinking to yourselves, what is this crossover? I'll have you know that you guys have worked on quite a few projects together. Are you aware of that?
No.
It's been a while, so I felt that might be the answer. Yeah. There was a little project called The Jungle Book 2, where Jim, you played...
Well, I'm the king of the swingers. Well, don't worry, I won't sing the whole song. No, somebody has to do it. Right?
Who did you play?
Well, I was not in the original movie because I was 10, but I was King Louis.
You were.
I was King Louis in the series, and there was a series Tailspin, in which they were brought up.
As well as Caw in The Jungle Book 2.
Trust in me. I inherited all of, God bless him, rest his soul, Sterling. Thank you, but this guy's got it. All of Sterling Holloway's roles, Caw and Winnie the Pooh. I think that was him, right? And Cheshire Cat, who is a pretty tricky guy. Yeah. So anybody's
in what way tricky?
Well, he vanishes and then lies to you, and then he's a cat, so you can fill in that blank, and he doesn't have a kitty litter. So, but anyway,
and
glad you're here.
You played Ron John's father. Do you remember that role?
No.
No.
You were great.
It was a while ago, so we'll give you a pass.
How many years?
How many years was that?
All of them.
I want to say it was 94, I believe.
Oh, I should be.
Somebody correct me if I'm wrong on that.
Should be able to remember that.
2003, thank you. I was only 9 years off.
Oh, yeah. You had the right
I was
section.
working with your dad at that time, wasn't I?
Probably.
Could be. That's
good.
right. Absolutely.
Well, now we've established that he knows and I don't. Why don't you guys just carry on?
Okay, I'll give another one to you.
There you go.
Another project that you were both in. Booty You 2, Winnie the Pooh.
Yes. I remember
John,
that.
you were the narrator. Do you remember that one?
Yes, of course I do.
Yes. You were the word sayer.
Ah, yes. Yes.
Well, you're very, very good. Well, I can't imagine you being in anything on camera or off camera with this incredibly Shakespearean actor, stentorian voice. And
Come on, that's
Not
another
being-
$5 I owe you. Come on.
I know, that's right. I mean, it's you've got a hell of a signature. And a lot of British actors, does that come from theater, projecting? Because I would imagine you.
Well, it does help. The theater does help. Basically, it helps a young actor because he can make his mistakes in front of 300 people rather than 30 million people.
Well, that's true. Like we have here.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. That's so true.
But my generation listened to radio a lot, and we heard lots of funny voices and tried to copy them. We had the Goon Show, and we had a brilliantly funny. There was God, he would be world famous, and probably nobody here has heard of him. Peter Sellers. And Harry Seacombe, and they all did funny voices and came up with wonderful phrases that we all giggled at, and I don't know why. We came up to this place. It had steaming French gravel. Somehow it was strangely erotic to hear that. Steaming French gravel.
Well, 2 out of 3. Steamy, French, gravel.
Yes, yes. But that's where we copied all our voices from and tried to make our own little imitations. It was,
Did you always know? When did you know that this is what you were going to do?
Well, I saw the very first play I saw where I was 11 years old and knew at a boarding school that I hated. And the school had a great dramatic tradition. And it always put on classical plays. And the first play I ever saw at the age of 11 was Oedipus Rex. Right.
That's Dr. Seuss, right?
And at that moment when Oedipus comes onto the stage in the beginning of the second act, and he has put his eyes out, and they're hanging down his face like that, I knew at that moment, that there was some special effect that great tragedy has. And I went to the school library, where I wasn't allowed to go because I was not a fourth former, and I knew exactly what I was looking for because I'd heard about it. And I found Aristotle on tragedy. Tragedy, then, is the imitation of an action, complete and of some importance, acted, not narrated, in language enhanced by distinct and varying means, and through pity and fear, effecting its purgation of these emotions. I learned it then, I know it now, I don't understand it still.
Well said. I couldn't repeat a word of it, but it was well said. Oh, my goodness.
Well, I know, but
yeah, that's amazing.
But when you're young, when you're up until the age of 20, you can remember everything. It's a lot harder the older you get. But there are certain numbers that you can remember because you find them. For instance, I happen to know my global entry number because it is the opening of the Theatre Royal Haymarket in 1663 with a number in between, which I shan't tell you because otherwise you'll all be using my global entry. And
that's right.
I'll be banned from the world. And then the birthday of Christopher Columbus. So if you can get 1663 and 1451 together, you can remember that. What other? I've got another one that is the year that the Black Prince married the Fair Maid of Kent. Or is that? Yes, I think that's my manager's postcode with a 9 befront of it. But the Elizabethans, for instance, would only see a book perhaps once in their lives. There weren't that many books around, and they belonged to rather wealthy people. But if you were keen to read a book and you got lent it, then you really had to read it, look after it, and learn from it. And what they did, they envisioned a big house, and to each room they would ascribe a subject, like philosophy or history or something like that. And then they would put a cabinet in it and put an idea in one drawer of that cabinet, or hang a picture on the wall, and the art of memory that they created by visualization like that really is still a very useful way of memorizing things. I'm sorry, that was really boring.
That was really good. You know, I was in a million plays as a kid, and I ended up doing voiceover because you don't have to memorize. You can just read it. And who said that? Yes, you're right. Thank you, wise guy. Yeah, but no, it's true, and I'm sure you don't have a preference, but if you do, it's got to be. Is it stage? Is that your first love? It's probably what brought you the fame and fortune.
Yes, it is.
I should think.
By the time I'd left school, I'd played Othello. I wouldn't be allowed to now.
Wow.
I played Othello. Played Troilus. I played Ulysses in Troilus and Cressida. I'd played Volpone, and I think I'd done one or two other things as well. But by the time you're 17 and you've done that,
wow,
you begin to have some idea about verse.
I would think, yes.
And it's useful. Shakespeare is still the most vital talent of all time.
Yeah.
He's just extraordinary. The way he can string those simple phrases together. Never mind the great speeches. Yeah. We all know the great speeches. Oh, by the way, I have to say that I played the Scotsman. We try not to call it the Scottish play. We do not refer to by its name.
Oh, okay.
But I was playing the eponymous hero, and good word.
Eponymous, damn.
And that very first night, I started doing that remarkable speech that I much not repeat, but it begins with tomorrow. And as I did it, members of the audience were saying it with me, and I got completely lost with it, because I was thinking, oh, does that come? I was very nervous. Stick to plays that the audience don't know by heart.
Yeah, no kidding. That would be a little bit.
Oh yes, there you are. I mean, imagine doing "to be or not to be," and you've got everyone in the room saying, "That is the question." And now these days, I'd probably get up and go, "All right."
That would do it.
What is it next? To die.
To sleep no more.
And by a sleep.
To dream.
Yes, you're profound. Yeah. And that is the worst performance of Hamlet that you will ever see.
Yes, it is.
By the way, the first printed version of that is a pirated version. It's the bad quarto, the Duke of Devonshire's quarto, is published in 1602. It is shorter, and we know who stole the thing because the parts of the player king and who else? The player king and I think the gravedigger. They are perfectly as described in the better quarto. And you see, in those days, there was no copyright. If you went to the stationer and said, "Psst, I've got William Shakespeare's new play. Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Give us £5 and you can have it." Right, sign on the dotted line. Right. And that's how they got pirated.
Wow.
But the players had a way of I hate this damn thing sitting down here with this. God, it's a lifelong struggle here. Yeah.
There we go. There, yeah.
The players had a way of getting around this because they would only have the senior members of the company. Shakespeare would write his play, and that pile of paperwork was called the foul papers. And then a scrivener or a scribe would draw up the entire play. The 4 or 5 leading members of the company would get to read that, and then their parts would be written out. You know, you come in here, you do this and this, and the words for those copies of the play or bits of the play were called sides, and we still use the word sides when we're filming or anything. Give me my sides for the day, we say. But they would have just cues and their speeches, and then later on, the day men would come in, and they would just have their sides with just, you come in here, you come in there. Then they would rehearse maybe once or twice their cues, because otherwise you couldn't trust the bloody actors, because they'd run off and publish the whole script if they did.
Oh, God, yeah.
So that is how, and the bad quarto, he said, finally getting around to the point he was making, the bad quarto of to be or not to be goes to be or not to be. Is that all? Aye, all. For in that sleep of death, what dreams may come. They only listened to it 4 or 5 times, perhaps. But those certain phrases they just grabbed. To be or not to be. Oh, that's a good one. Mm-hmm. I can't remember what comes after that then. Oh, but then he said, to sleep, perchance to dream. Aye, there's the rub. Oh, and little highlights of it they managed to get down. And they managed to cover the whole play very badly. But that is the first printed version of Hamlet. In 2 hours, traffic on the stage, which may indicate that actually the performance was shorter than the full-length version. But you can't tell with the Elizabethans because they hungered for words and ideas. A priest, a minister, who preached a sermon that was merely an hour or 2 hours long, was often booed. We want words. We want the holy inspiration to come to us. We want knowledge and learning. This is how we learn. We, the ordinary people, do not get to read books. We don't know how to read. Shakespeare's daughters didn't know how to read and write. Whoa. Well, they certainly didn't know how to write. We can't really tell whether they knew how to read, but as distinct from the film that you're probably going to see sometime, which is sweet and it's nice, but it's got nothing to do with Shakespeare. Of course, it's Mrs. Shakespeare's story. The fact that she was probably illiterate herself and was an orphan and obliged to marry what was he, 18-year-old boy? And she was 26, 27, so she was really on the shelf.
Oh, yeah. For back then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A shotgun wedding, by the way.
Oh, really?
Oh, yes.
William, you rascal.
Well, you know, it's all hormones when you're 17.
Yes, it is.
Probably when you're 77.
No, 77, yeah.
I have a question for you, John.
Go on.
As an actor with somebody with such reverence for the theater, you were working on a project called Squadron 42. That's all motion capture. I believe that was your first experience with motion capture. How does the theater translate to your experience with that, wearing a camera on your head and dots all over your body? Ooh. Is that a foreign experience? Is that an exciting, creative challenge?
Well, spandex and I.
There's the quote for you right there. John Rhys-Davies, Spandex and I, his autobiography.
Have you ever worn spandex? I'd like to see you prancing around here in spandex.
I've got some under my jeans.
Yeah, I might as well sit down for this one.
Yes, there we go.
Look, all acting is really the same. It's the projection of thought and energy in the right way through the medium. When you're on the stage, you can do great gestures like that. When you're on a long shot or a medium shot on a film, you can nod your head. If it's a close-up and you're doing your hair, you know.
It looks like exercise.
It's conveying the power or the weakness or telling the story or helping the story be told or assisting the leading person to pace the thing that is the thing demanded. And even if it is, Squadron 42, and it's telling a story. It's all the same. It's just different, slightly different approaches.
Yeah,
but
different
it's
medium.
Yeah. You know that.
Wow,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Come on, I've talked enough. You go on.
No.
They've had me.
Enjoying being in the audience right here. This is good stuff. This is great.
Well, one question I had for both of you that I was thinking about, you've both done a number of, obviously, voice acting roles, but also narration. And I was curious to ask both of you how, if at all, narration differs from creating a character. Is the narrator that you're playing for whatever project, is that a character? Is that a version of yourself? What would you differentiate the two approaches?
I think it's a character. It feels like a character to me, because you're commenting on what's going on in the scene, and it gives context, I think, and it gives people something to think about. And if you don't know a big word, he can explain it to you, the narrator. But it's definitely a character, I would think. Don't you agree? I mean, you got to have some juice because you're part storyteller. And a storyteller is very much a character. Okay, I could be wrong.
No, you're not wrong, but you're 100%. Not right all the time.
That's right.
I did a religious work. I don't think I'm going to name it, but every word had to be right. And obviously the intonation had to be right. It was written by a lady, and it was really one of the hardest things I've ever done, It goes along the lines of, you have done this and you have done this, and you feel that you have served Christ in doing it, but you haven't actually done it that way because you have thought about this when you did this, and this is it itself. It was a sort of mind-bending theological discussion of such minute detail that it almost broke my spirit, to be honest with you. It was interminably long. I have no idea whether it was ever any good. Oh, dear me.
So you didn't feel like you were playing a character?
No. I felt I was engaging with an argument which very much was a sort of almost a medieval tract on how many angels could dance on the head of a pin. Yeah. But that actually is a cosmological question as well as anything else, and that could be quite an interesting argument. But I completely failed in this one, and I don't think I will ever do a narration like that again. I mean, it just took too much time, and then you know your own human brain says, wait a minute, that can't be right. It has to be an illogical jump there, but you've got to continue in that certain vein, and yeah, but he is right.
Yeah, there you go. I was just going to ask that. I'm glad we cleared that up.
I have another question for the both of you. Working with so many prolific actors and being such prolific actors yourselves, who is one person that you've worked with that really inspired you in your own career?
Wow.
Well, I can tell you who I missed and cried when he died, and that was Robin Williams.
Oh, sure. Yeah, boy. Yeah, you know, it's funny because I worked with him, but never met him because it was animation. And in animation, you don't necessarily meet your castmates. They're not, you know, as you know, usually you're kind of flying solo. But one of my proudest moments is he kind of almost gave me the finger. And it was in the Aladdin series, which you know all about. I was Rasul. You will have to take it up with Jafar. I was that guy, and so oh yeah, right. Yeah. And so I was kind of giving some grief there, and Robin snapped his fingers as the genie, and everything turned into a giant courtroom, and I was the witness, bound in the chair there, and he goes, "I'm sorry, but I will not be upstaged by a tertiary character." And he leaned over, grabbed my toes, rolled me up like a window blind, and boom, vanished me out of the room. So one of my proudest moments was Robin Williams gave me the finger. Thank you. Good night, everybody. Anyway, so that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Speaking of the finger, though, I wanted to ask you this, John. You played a pretty good prank on Peter Jackson with a middle finger. Do you think you could tell us that story?
You remember old Petey, don't you?
My very first school report, when I was 5 years old, predicted my sorry future. John could do well as soon as he learns that life is not a joke. Ooh. And I never did make it.
Yeah.
So, cut to... and I use the word cut advisedly. Now, I would like to give you a wonderful story about how I lost the tip of my finger, you know, how the Germans came out of the Hun came out of the sun. I'd shot down 5 of them, and this 6th one I had or the crocodile version. Yeah. The truth of the matter is, I had an old van, and my son blew the engine up, and I was doing an engine swap. Didn't get finished, and so I got the engine in, and I was going to LA the next day, and I was working on Wednesday. I just didn't have time to finish it, so I towed it round. I was going to tow it round to a friend of mine's place because he was going to do the rest for me. So we start towing, and I have to flag my tower down a little bit because the prop shaft is whipping a little bit, and so I get the old coat hanger steel and wire it up a little bit more, and then I nod. And he's getting into the car, and I think and he takes off without me, and it takes the top of the finger off into the metalwork. Then you have to go to the local hospital in the Isle of Man where I live, and you've got grease on your hands, and you've got the tip of your finger here, oh, Mr. Rhys-Davies. Oh, how wonderful to see you. I wonder, could we have your autograph? and of course, actors are so bloody dumb.
Yeah, nobody's going to say.
That's what we do. So, I yes, of course. Yes, to Davina and Seth. Davina, fine, yes, okay. Yes. Oh, I don't think we can do anything about it here. You'll have to go to the big hospital. Anyway, so in the end, what I should just have done is wrap the damn thing up and got on the plane, greasy as I was, flown to New York, and they had to put it back on. In the end, it was just easier just to cut it off. Anyway, cut to...
Good thing it was only your finger.
Yeah, then New Zealand, yes. So we decided to play the prank on Peter Jackson, you see. So my brilliant sort of makeup man creates from this finger, creates another one there that we can stick on. And we put a tiny bit of white for the bone in there. And then we put a little bit of white, of red round there. And I go up to Peter and say, Peter, why I seem to have, and I started pushing it back.
Oh, wow.
And Peter goes, oh, John, I think you ought to go down. Yes. Woo. As you can see,
Wow.
my early school mistress really knew what she was talking about.
Yeah, my God. But that's pretty good. Wow. So you really did give him the finger.
Yes.
Wow.
Actually, I put my finger into a jar of alcohol and stuck it in the fridge. But I had a guest who came along who was so frightened and disgusted about it that he threw it out. I wanted to be buried with that finger. You expect to turn up there, or probably down there, wherever for me, and say, come on, make it all happen again. And now they're gonna have to say, I'm sorry, there are so many fingers down there, we can't even begin to look. Yeah, all right.
Wow.
Sorry about that.
There you go. Woo. Glad you weren't going to the bathroom at that time. Ay.
Yeah.
I think it's that time of the podcast that we do a voice swap. What do you think, Jim?
I do indeed.
Do you want to play a little game here? We do a little game
Yes.
on this podcast. It's the voice swap game. I'll explain it to you. Don't worry.
Yeah, don't worry. That's right.
God.
Are you familiar with it? Say yes.
Look at that.
They're familiar with it.
All right, so how the game works. Honestly, when I was doing research on you for this panel right here, I didn't realize how many voices you had done and how versatile your voice is. You know, I feel like we're so
Setting
conditioned.
me up for failure.
No. Maybe a little bit.
Go
But
on.
we'll take one of your characters and say, for example, Jim. Okay. We'll take Winnie the Pooh and he'll say one of the catchphrases, you stay as sweet as honey. And then you'll repeat that same line, but in one of your characters' voices. So say, I don't know, Treebeard. And you'll say the same line in that voice, and then we'll do vice versa. How does that sound? Don't look so concerned.
Wait. So he does Winnie the Pooh with his version of Winnie the Pooh, and then Treebeard does
The line.
The same line.
The same line.
The same line. Okay.
When does this section end?
The pain is almost over. But I have a question for the audience, because should I bring out Bonkers or Winnie the Pooh or Darkwing or Taz?
Darkwing.
Oh, okay. Well, that was
You see a
good.
Darkwing
Yeah.
right there, too.
So you spent the habit then. Okay. I don't remember how that one sounded. No. Okay. Say Pooh. Oh, Tigger. Okay. Which one? Darkwing. You say yes. Okay. Darkwing. Wow. Okay.
All right.
That was easy. It's a bloody duck.
Oh, okay.
John's going.
Okay.
Who the hell is Darkwing?
I was anticipating foul play.
Yeah. Good night, everybody. Thank you for that.
Okay.
All right. So, Darkwing Duck's catchphrase. Does anybody know it? That's not bad. Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. Here we go. Darkwing Duck. Let's get dangerous.
Indeed. Let us get dangerous.
That's big time showbiz.
And then we'll do vice versa. Vice versa. So you pick a character.
I pick a character.
Of yours, yes.
Of yours.
I've got it all the work here, have I?
Yeah. That's why we brought you.
All right. All right, then.
No Shakespeare now. He's gonna. What a piece of work is man, and I'll be sitting there going, I'm doomed.
The heavens themselves, the planets, and the center. No, okay.
Oh, thank you.
Maybe not. Okay, all right, then. Pardon me. Right. Yes, okay. Nobody tosses a dwarf.
Man, that's good stuff. Who do you think?
Darkwing. Nobody tosses a dwarf. As well as John Rhys-Davies. Nobody tosses a dwarf. Because they're good at gathering honey.
Wow.
Should we do one more? One
maybe
more. I have a
one.
request because it's one of my favorite characters in SpongeBob. Yes. Can we do Man Ray?
This is your wallet.
This is your wallet.
No.
Okay.
Hey, I think I got that wrong, didn't I? Is this your wallet? That's even worse. I mean, better. No, horrible. Go on.
Okay,
Just do
very
it,
good.
just do it.
Just do it and shut up and do it. Who should it be? Bunkers?
You're in a lot of Tigger.
Tigger, okay. Is this your wallet? Hey. Oh my gosh. I can't thank you enough, sir.
You were best.
You are
you were best.
amazing.
No, you were best.
You are amazing.
Yeah.
Bless you, John Rhys-Davies, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you ever so much. Is there anything you want to brag about before you leave? I mean,
Anything one? Oh, gosh. What,
Might as well.
well,
The whole world is watching, you know.
There's a new horror picture that I've just done. I think it's called The Bone Collector.
Oh.
Which is rather good. There is another movie that
It's not a porno, right? I made that up. Of course, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh dear, the insufferable vulgarity of the man. And there is there's a film that we actually shot in just before COVID, 2016, which is about to come out, which is called Starbright, which is a fantasy and a lovely romantic adventure story in which I play the Archangel Raphael.
Wow.
Oh yes.
Really?
There's a little NASA thing that I voiced the other day as well, which is about it's about NASA, isn't it? And space and stars, and support NASA, one of the glories of mankind.
I agree.
Absolutely.
Fantastic. God bless you, sir.
Well,
Thank you.
no. What are you going to post?
I don't know. I'll be at my table in a while. Oh, well, that is true. I've got a Nat Geo, Meet the Planet, coming out with a fledgling actor, Ryan Reynolds. And I'm trying to help the kid out, you know what I'm saying? And so be there. Tune in. Stay tuned. Speaking of tuned in, hey, producer Chris, thank you, sir.
Thank you. And thank you guys all so much for watching and supporting. I mean, doing this live tour at Fan Expo has been so cool to see everybody out and support. And if you don't, follow on YouTube, I mean, we have a great time and we really do it for you guys. Like, it's really been an awesome journey for me. It's such a privilege to have this job. Thank you so much, Jim. It's just been awesome. And if you want to hear more of John, you can look up an episode. He was on an episode about a year ago, so you can find that as he's interrupting me.
Oh, the bells.
Honey, I told you not to call me when I'm at work.
But sincerely, thank you guys all so much. We really appreciate it. And why don't you guys go pay a visit to these guys at their booths as well?
Thank you. God bless.